The whispers have settled, the dust has cleared, but the storm is far from over. Cloud's Buster Sword hums with anticipation, Tifa's fists clench with purpose, and the weight of Midgar's escape hangs heavy. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is no victory lap, it's a plunge into the unknown depths of a world teetering on the brink. Forget the whispers of fate, this is a story rewritten. Zack Fair alive? Avalanche reborn? Aerith's smile held a secret sorrow. Want to know what lies beyond the burning horizon? What nightmares lurk in the Shinra shadows? What hidden truths will shatter everything you thought you knew? With Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, an old JRPG is being brought up to date. Square Enix gave us even more to look forward to at the PlayStation State of Play in September 2023. They showed off new features, a collector's version, and other things. The second book in what will be a series is set to come out in February 2024 and already looks great. There are already plans for a third movie, which will be even bigger than the second one. Cloud and the gang are going on another adventure, and we're going to see places like the Gold Saucer, meet new and old friends, and play a lot of mini-games. It's still unclear how closely it sticks to the story of the original and where it will take us, but there's already a lot of talk about it. Every time we get a better look, we find something new to like. FF7R is looking like it will be one of the most anticipated £5 games of the year, especially since it's one of the new games for 2024 that's coming out soon. Along with a special hard copy, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Collector's Edition has been shown off. There was an announcement about the collector's version at the same time that the game came out. The 2-disc tale and all of its extras will cost an unbelievable $350. The FF7R Collector's Edition comes with DLC, in-game items, and a huge 19-inch figure of Sephiroth to put in your living room. It also comes with the steelbook from the deluxe version. It's pricey, but for FF7 fans who really want it, it sounds like a great deal. When it comes to the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the PlayStation 5 is the only platform that has been specified. The PlayStation 4 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake was released. However, Square Enix is concentrating on the next generation of gaming consoles for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which means that it will not be accessible on the PlayStation 4. Square Enix has not confirmed whether or not Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be made available for personal computers. However, given that Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is now available on Steam, it is quite probable that Rebirth will be published at some point in the future. About the subject of whether or not Final Fantasy VII Remake would be released on Xbox, there is still no clarity about the matter. Despite this, there is still a glimmer of optimism. Both the remake of Final Fantasy VII and its sequel, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, are now only playable on PlayStation systems from this point on. For the other hand, the likelihood of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade being released for Xbox Series X has increased now that it has officially been released on personal computers. The Core of the Crisis, a remaster of the Final Fantasy VII prequel, titled Final Fantasy VII Reunion, will be released on Xbox One and Xbox Series X later this year. This news adds fuel to the fire of the rumors that have been circulating about the game. At this point, it is possible that Square Enix is making preparations for the release of Remake Intergrade on Microsoft systems in the near future. The gameplay of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has been shown to us in a significant amount of detail ever since the game was initially revealed. The Gold Saucer, which you may recall is an important location in the first game, was the location where we saw Cloud and his companions roam through more open spaces and play minigames. During the Summer Game Fest 2023, as well as during the State of Play exhibition in September 2023, this was once again shown to us. In the most recent gameplay footage, Cloud was shown racing, riding a chocobo, and even going around on a slide throughout the game. The fact that Square Enix has said that Rebirth would have nearly 100 hours of adventure makes it very evident that the second installment of Final Fantasy VII will be even more impressive. In this more recent look at Final Fantasy VII-R, we will be going over a portion of the first chapter. What I enjoy most about my time in Calm, though, is the way it introduces me to one of the new features of Rebirth, and it's one that gets right to the heart of what makes me so excited for the follow-up, according to senior writer Heather Wald. Just as Remake let us see new sides to its iconic cast of characters by letting us spend more time with them between the action, Rebirth is putting a greater focus on party bonds in every respect, from the combat to the story. The videos have shown Cloud engaging in combat with a variety of creatures by using the combination of real-time action and directives that are included in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. We have also seen the other characters at work, which is a really interesting sight. Based on what we have seen up to this point, it seems like we will be engaged in a battle once again alongside Barrett, Tifa, and Aerith, in addition to Red 13, who has just joined the team. In a recent blog post that was published by PlayStation during the September 2023 State of Play presentation, director Naoki Hamaguchi said that Red 13 would have a new sort of character that would provide something distinct. This statement is rather intriguing when taken into consideration. It is stated that Red has both an ATB gauge and a revenge gauge mechanic that fills up whenever he scores a hit on an adversary. Then we will be able to make use of this gauge to begin using a variety of techniques throughout the combat. According to the site, new synergy moves are also going to be included in the improvements that have been made to the combat system. In a manner that is analogous to the operation of limit breaks, they may be used freely at any time thanks to the use of a charged gauge. These maneuvers will enable us to feel the relationships and bonds that have grown between characters even more so than in the previous game, according to Hamaguchi, who claims that we will be able to perform both of these things. As a new component of character growth in Rebirth, there will be an increase in the number of various materials and powers, as well as the addition of skill trees. According to Square Enix, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes in the midst of a series of games that are collectively referred to as Final Fantasy VII Remake. An intriguing piece of information that has nothing to do with how Square Enix could go with this rewritten plot is as follows. When Final Fantasy VII was released for the PlayStation 1 in 1997, it was packaged on 3 discs. This is a wonderful example of symmetry. Anyway, Yoshinori Kitase, the producer of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, talked about the choice to make the remake a trilogy. Making the middle part of a trilogy has its own challenges, but there are plenty of classic second installments in the world of film that are defined by stunning story twists and deeper explorations of their characters. The majority of the time, these are the second sections that fans truly appreciate. To a similar extent, we hope that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be an even more thrilling and unforgettable video game than the original version of Final Fantasy VII. Tetsuya Nomura has said that some development has already begun on the third title. Additionally, the creative director said that he has begun the development of the series and am working towards the completion of the series. Interconnected is the term that Nomura uses to describe the development system that he and his teams at Square Enix are collaborating on. It is possible that with this information, we will not have to wait 3 years after the release of Fantasy VII Rebirth in order to play the last game in this trilogy. If you're as hyped as we are for this game, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates as we inch closer to its release.